What's up, everybody? Look, before we dive into this, let me just say something real quick. College isn't for everyone, and thank God for that. While half my high school friends are still paying off student loans for degrees they don't use, I've been debt-free for years, making six figures. Is it always glamorous? Hell no. Some days I'm covered in dirt, sweat, sometimes blood. I've never once woken up wondering if my work matters. So if you're watching this because you're thinking about getting into the trades in 2025, good. We need you. Badly. The trades just aren't an alternative to college anymore. They're a damn smart first choice. And today I'm going to break down exactly how to get started. No BS, no sugarcoating, just the raw truth about what it takes to make it happen. Let's go. Why the trades in 2025? Look, I'm not here to sell you some fantasy, but let me hit you with some facts that might blow your mind. The average age of skilled tradesmen right now are pushing 50. 50. These guys are retiring faster than we can replace them. That's not just an opportunity, that's a freaking crisis. And here's the kicker. While tech jobs are getting eaten alive by AI, you know what robots still suck at? Installing a toilet without flooding a house. Wired an electrical panel without burning down the neighborhood. Building a deck that won't collapse when your in-laws visit. Real talk. I started with nothing. No connections. No money. Just a high school diploma and some junior college. And the willingness to work harder than anyone else in the room. Now, I pick my jobs. I set my hours. I decide what I'm worth. But here's what nobody tells you. The real reason to get into the trades isn't even the money. It's going to bed every night knowing you solved real problems for real people. It's driving past a house you helped build. It's fixing something everyone else said couldn't be fixed. That feeling beats the hell out of staring at spreadsheets all day. But if you're just in it for the cash, no judgment, let's talk numbers. Plumbers in our area are charging $210 an hour. Electricians can't even answer their phones because they're so booked. HVAC techs are turning down work. Here's the truth. If you're willing to put in the work, real work, there's never been a better time to jump in. Choose your path. All right, so you're still here. Good. Let's figure out which trades is right for you. I started in the HVAC trades because I love the feeling of fixing mechanical equipment. But that's me. You got to find your thing. Here's the breakdown of the major trades and what you need to know. Electrical, more technical, requires serious attention to detail. Math skills matter, but it's clean work, relatively speaking. And the barrier to entry is higher, which means, yep, more money. Also, with the EV revolution and solar exploding, electricians are king right now. Plumbing. It can be messy, but the earning potential is insane. Everybody needs water. Everybody makes waste. You always have work. And contrary to what people think, modern plumbing is high-tech stuff. You're not just plunging toilets all day. HVAC, heating and cooling, is where technology meets trades. It's complex, challenging, and pays accordingly. Plus, with climate change making weather more extreme, everyone needs functioning temperature control. Job security for life. Carpentry, from rough framing to fine finish work. The variety keeps it interesting. Lower barrier to entry, but mastery takes time. The reason they call it a craft. Welding, you're literally playing with fire to join metal. It's badass, specialized, and welders can make bank, especially in industries or union settings. Here's a secret. The trade you start in doesn't have to be the one you stay in. I know plenty of guys who started as laborers and now own specialized companies. But how do you pick? Simple. Try them. Seriously, reach out to local contractors. Tell them you work for minimum wage for a day just to see what the job is like. Most will say yes. Do this with 3 different trades. I guarantee one will click. Or just think about what you're already drawn to. Car person? Maybe electrical or welding? Like building things? Carpentry? Good with puzzles and problem solving? Plumbing or HVAC might be your jam. The wrong approach is picking based just on money. If you hate the work, no paycheck is worth it. Trust me on this one. Education and training options. All right, so you've picked a direction. Now let's talk about how to actually get there. College counselors don't tell you this, but there are multiple paths into the trades. And shocking, I know most don't even involve drowning in student debt. Option 1, apprenticeship. This is a gold standard. People, you get paid to learn. Let me say that again. Paid to learn. You work under experienced tradespeople, getting hands-on training while earning a paycheck. After 3 to 5 years, depending on the trade, you come out as a journeyman with no debt and thousands of hours of experience. Finding apprenticeships. Check out your local union halls, community colleges with trade programs, or just start cold calling contractors. Be persistent. It can take 23 plus calls before someone says yes. The 24th call could change your life. Option 2, online trade schools. You can find them on Google. This is an excellent option because you can do them in the comfort of your home when you have time to log on. They all have their own timelines for completion depending on the trade you choose. Option 3, in-person trade schools, 6 to 24 months of focused training. You'll pay for this education, but it's way cheaper than college. And the good schools have job placements that would make Ivy League universities jealous. But, big warning here, not all in-person trade schools are created equal. Some are just money pits. Before you commit, talk to actual employers in your area. Ask them which schools they hire from. That's your real answer. Option 4, community college. Many offer excellent trade programs at a fraction of private school costs. Plus, there are often grants and scholarships specifically for trade students that go unclaimed because everyone's fighting over the academic ones. Option 5, military and the armed forces will train you in almost any trade, pay you while doing it, and give you the benefits for further education after you serve. It's not for everyone, but if it fits your situation, it's an incredible opportunity. Listen, I know guys with $80,000 in student loans who can't find jobs. And I know plumbers who started as an apprentice at 18 who bought their first house at 23 years old. The system is broken, but if you're smart, you can use that brokenness to your advantage. Getting your first job. Let's get practical. How do you actually land that first gig? First things first. For the love of God, don't just send out resumes online and hope someone calls. That's not how this works. The trades are still very much a who you know business. So you need to get your face in the front of people. Literally, here's my step-by-step that worked for dozens of my followers. Get some basic tools and PPE, personal protective equipment. You don't need everything, but showing up prepared shows you're serious. Clean yourself up. I don't care how badass your tattoos are or how much you love your beard. For that first impression, look clean and capable. You can express yourself after you've proven yourself. Go to the job sites in person. This is old school, but it works. Find construction sites. Look for the person who seems in charge and ask if they're hiring and know someone who is. Bring a simple one-page resume with your contact info. Use your network. Tell everyone you know that you're looking to get into the trades. Your neighbor's cousin's boyfriend might be a contractor who needs help. Seriously. I'll let you in on a little secret. Most trade businesses are terrible at hiring. They don't post jobs properly. They don't check their emails. They're swamped with work and hiring is an afterthought. That means the standard job hunting advice doesn't apply. You have to be more creative, more persistent. I got my first HVAC job because I told one of my friends I was lost in junior college. No joke. I mentioned I was looking for a trades job and she told me to show up that Friday to the union hall and take an aptitude test. I scored high and they asked if I wanted to start on Monday. I said yes, but I have to give a 2-week notice to my other 2 jobs. They respected that, and they said, we'll see you in 2 weeks. Been working in HVAC ever since. And once you do get to that first job, whether it's through an apprenticeship program or just as a helper, here's the golden rule. Be the first to arrive and the last to leave. Nothing, and I mean nothing, will make you stand out faster in the trades than a solid work ethic. Not your charm, not your smarts, just good old-fashioned hustle. Building your career. Okay, so you're in. You've got that first job. Now what? This is where so many people mess up. They think getting in is the hard part. Nope. Staying in and growing is where the real challenge begins. Here's my playbook for going from rookie to pro. Shut up and learn for the first year. Your job is to be a sponge. Ask questions after trying to figure it out yourself. Watch how the veterans do things. There are hundreds of ways to run ductwork, run power, or clean out a sewer line. But start by mastering how your crew does it. Build your tool collection gradually. Don't go into debt buying tools. Start with essentials. Add one quality tool a week. The pros will respect you more for having a few good tools that you know how to use than a truck full of shiny ones you don't. Protect your body. The trades will wear you down if you let them. Knee pads, back braces, ear protection. Use them before you need them. I see too many guys in their 40s who can barely walk upstairs because they were too tough for safety gear in their 20s. I bought Carhartt work pants with the knee pads built in so my knees were protected whenever I knelt down on them. More comfortable for me than having a strap ran behind my knees holding on these huge knee pads. But that's just my opinion. Specialize. Eventually, after you've built a solid foundation of skills, start learning into what you're best at or what pays the most in your area. Specializations is where the real money is. In my case, I got really good at higher end furnaces and controls. Now I get called for the jobs not very many people want to touch. They're complicated, high-end stuff that pays accordingly. But the most important thing, never stop learning. The trades are evolving. New materials, new techniques, new tools. The guy who installed your grandpa's toilet wouldn't recognize half the systems we use today. YouTube, trade magazines, manufacturer training, use it all. The minute you think you know everything is the minute you start becoming obsolete. The money talk. All right, let's talk cash, because at the end of the day, we all got to eat. Starting out, be realistic. As an apprentice or a helper, you might make $20 to $25 an hour. Not life-changing, but not bad for getting paid to learn. By year 3, if you've been hustling and learning, it could be $30 to $40 an hour. It's totally doable. When you've reached journeyman status 5+ years in, now you're talking 40 to 50 plus an hour, depending on your trade and location. And if you eventually start your own business, the sky's the limit. I know specialty contractors cleaning $400K plus a year. But there's a trap I see people fall into. They hit that journeyman level, start making decent money, and then plateau. They stop growing their skills, stop taking on new challenges. Don't be that person. The real money in the trades comes from one of these 3 paths. Master a highly specialized skill, becoming the go-to person for something complex that others avoid. Learn the business side and start your own company. Being a good tradesperson doesn't automatically make you a good business owner. It's a whole different skill set. But if you can master both, that's when things get really interesting. Learn to teach and lead others. The best site supervisors and foremen are worth their weight in gold. If you can effectively manage projects and people, you'll always be in demand. Here's something nobody talks about. The trades can give you a freedom in a way few other careers can. I work intensely for 8 to 9 months of the year. Then I take spring and fall slow, picking only the jobs I want. Try getting that kind of flexibility in corporate America. Look, I could sugarcoat this, tell you it's all paychecks and pride. But the truth is, the trades will test you physically and mentally. You'll make mistakes that cost money. You'll work with some difficult people. You'll have days where everything goes wrong, but you'll also have moments of pure satisfaction that most people never experience in their entire careers. You'll drive past buildings decades from now and think, I helped build that. You'll get calls from panicked people, solve problems no one else could solve, and be their hero for the day. You'll use your mind and your hands to create real value in the world. Yeah, and if you stick with it and get good, you'll make more money than many of your friends with fancy degrees. The trades saved my life, gave me purpose when I needed it the most. Taught me that what I could create mattered more than what I could consume. Whether you're 18 and figuring out your first steps or 40 and looking for a career change, the door is open. The need is there. The opportunity is real. All that is left is for you to walk through it. So, you in? If this video helped you, smash that like button and subscribe. Drop a comment letting me know which trade you're thinking about getting into. And check out my other videos. Until next time, build something that matters.